Hey everybody, this is Kim and I am the Crafty Nomad because I am all over the place when it comes to crafting. Welcome to episode number 8 of my podcast. Thanks for joining me. I just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody who has joined the Ravelry group. I do have one. I'm up to 21 members on that group. So I have at this point 130, I believe, YouTube subscribers. So please, YouTube subscribers, come on over to Ravelry and join the Crafty Nomad podcast group. And I'll make sure that there's a link in the show notes below in the down bar. And you can just click on the link and join up. I think when I get to 50 people over there is when I'll probably do my very first giveaway. I have no idea what it's going to be. Probably, I really don't know. So we'll figure that out when we get closer to 50. But please come on over and join me. And for those of you who already have joined, thank you so much for joining up over there and stopping by and introducing yourself in the introductions thread. I am so grateful for that. So grateful for everybody who gave me a thumbs up on my last video, and for everybody who commented. I love this community. I'm so glad that I finally just jumped in and went for it with this, because it's been a ton of fun, and I just look forward to being around for a while, and really just looking forward to getting to know more and more people better. So today I'm going to, my show notes are going to be sort of down here, so I'm going to be looking down there. I'm going to do whips. I'm going to do FOs. I believe I have no stash enhancement. I did order some things, but they have not come in, so you'll get to see those on the next episode. I have some one new kid on the block to talk about, and a what I call podcast rock star. I would like, or rock stars, because technically there are 2 of them. People who have been podcasting for a little while. I just want to highlight some of my faves, and also I want to highlight a Crafty Periscoper who I enjoy watching, so who happens to also be a YouTuber. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go back to the top of my show notes. Sorry about that. And we're going to talk about works in progress. Okay, so what I have on the needles is still my sock. And the last time we talked about the poor little sock, I told you guys that the sock, it was coming along beautifully, but I could not get it on. I tried to try it on, and I had bound off too tightly. So what I did was I took the plunge, and since this was a toe-up sock, it wasn't that hard to rip back the top of it and restart the ribbing. So, you know what, guys, this sock is so full of mistakes, but I'm so proud of my little sock. It's coming along. I ripped out the ribbing all of the ribbing all the way back down to this stripe. And then I started the ribbing earlier, and then Andrea over at the Cat Lady had mentioned something about a stretchy bind off. So I'm going to look that up and bind it off that way once I get the ribbing back up to par. I'm just about there. I have, I don't know, this looks like a mess, but this is how much I have left to reknit. And then I am at the point on the heel. It's kind of wonky, but I tried it on and it works, so whatever, it works. So it's full of mistakes. It's very wonky, but I'm gonna wear it because I'm gonna be proud of this sock. Anyway, so I'm ready to kitchener the heel as well. So as soon as I finish this, then I'm gonna kitchener the heel after watching several videos because I really don't know how to Kitchener yet. I think I maybe have done it once in my knitting life, so I'm gonna get that going, and hopefully the next time we meet, at least one sock, this sock, will be finished, and then hopefully I will have started on the next one. And it's taken me forever, but anyway, that's where we are on the sock. And it, of course, is living in the Silver Shed USA bag, which I love, with the beautiful little stained glass owls and the purple polka dot insides. So that's where that is living. My other work in progress that I didn't really work on a lot is still the Gallatin scarf. I did not work on that, and so I'm not going to show you that, but I did start a new whip, and I am going to get out the pattern for you guys on my Kindle. I have like 3 devices ready to go to show you guys all my patterns. Hopefully this will be smooth. So this is called the Stash Buster Blarf, and it is basically a rectangular shawl, and it is called a blarf because it's a cross between a blanket and a scarf. And it's a stash buster. It's almost like, I'm sure you've seen those stitch sampler patterns for blankets. I believe Attic 24, I think that's her name. She's a crochet rock star. She does lovely stitch sampler blankets with the Style Craft acrylic yarn that is mostly sold over in Europe, but you can get it from Annie's as well here online. So I ordered some from there, and I still haven't used it yet. I ordered a pack of it, and I'm planning to make a stitch sampler blanket with it, crocheted. But this is sort of like dipping your toe in because it's just really a shawl length one. And anyway, let me just show you. Hopefully you can see that. That's the pattern. Hopefully you can see it. If not, I'm going to link it in the down bar below. And I'll make it bigger. See that? I wonder if I do it this way. I don't think that makes much of a difference. Anyway, it is a 4 pattern, they call them linear motifs, and so you do 4 different patterns for every row, and you just repeat those same 4 rows and change the color of yarn with each stitch pattern change, or with each linear motif change. So I actually just started this today, and I will show you how far I have gotten. And basically you just grab yarns that are similar. And I'm trying to make a fall, kind of a fall themed one. So I have the first 3 rows done on it, and then I did start well, this is really the 3rd row because the first is just the base, and then the second row here, and this is, by the way, a free pattern on Ravelry. So as you can see, I started the 3rd one because this one, mustard color one, is just the base. So this just pulled out, but you know it's crochet, so it won't be a problem putting it back in. So that's my other work in progress. Now I'm excited to say that I have, let me see, I have quite a few finished objects for today. They're small, but they are finishes, so I'm very excited about it. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen some of this stuff. I was making the crochet Halloween top hat, which is a free pattern on Red Heart. And here it is. Hopefully you can see it. It's black and white once again. And make sure I showed you that. So my plan was, I had a costume. I was going to wear sort of like a steampunkish looking sort of witch or whatever, but more steampunkish looking. And so I wanted to do the top hat instead of a witch's hat. So I did finish mine, and there it is. So as you can see, it's mostly red heart super saver for the orange. This is Loops and Threads Impeccable in the black. It is, I don't know if you could see it, but it's really tweedy. So I got that in there. And then I believe this is also Super Saver, the 2 flowers. And then you can see I sewed a couple of little buttons, a little flourish, and some feathers. But, so yeah, it turned out beautifully. And so what I did was I was going to wear a big wild wig and makeup and everything. And what I ended up doing was once I put this on, I was not sure it was going to stay on. And I did not want to be embarrassed, you know, with the wig falling off, because this thing fell off. So I decided to just sort of scrap this idea, even though it was lovely. And I really loved it. And I went for a tiny witch's hat. So I made, this is my second finished object, and really it didn't take long to make this at all. See if I can fix it. I did the same little flower in the front, and basically I just put 2 alligator clips in the bottom, and I was able to just clip it right to my head and right to my big old wild hair that day. And let me see, and it worked out. So it stayed up, trick-or-treated with the kids. We had a blast, and I had no problems with this. So I felt way more secure with the tiny one. So that's my second finished object. And then, guys, I don't know how many of you guys watch. You probably, if you watching me, I know you watch these guys. The Bakery Bears with Dan and Kay Jones. They do, it's a husband and wife team of podcasters. They do incredible podcasts, really, really long, but so full of information, because they do, she knits and crochets, and she sews. She has an Etsy store. She makes project bags. She does all these things. And then he knits, and she bakes, and so sometimes they feature baking things. And then I think I kind of found them because of the baking thing, and was surprised to find out that they also do fiber art, so that was really encouraging. And then they do a ton of history. They live in England, and so, you know, as you can imagine, there's tons of things that they can share about the area in which they live. And so they do, and they take us on tours, and it's a really good podcast. It's just very long, so sometimes you have to I have to watch it in pieces to catch them all, to get it all. I can never watch the whole thing in one sitting, but I thoroughly enjoy them. I enjoy their dynamic. They're really cool. But I bring them up because Dan loves this one particular pattern. I think it is the bankhead hat, and he has made a ton of them. Well, on my last podcast, I think I showed you guys that I had made a thank you hat. This is a pattern that I found on pearlsoho.com, and I had made this orange one. It's in the same yarn as the top hat. But I think this is becoming my bankhead because I really loved making this. So, in my beautiful, beautiful, I love this yarn by Red Heart, I made another one. And look at that, guys. Look at how beautifully this yarn knits up. I just love, they named this yarn perfectly because I just love this yarn. And I loved it. I love how it feels. I mean, it's 100% acrylic. It's so soft and so lovely to work with. So I made another one. And seriously, guys, today I was going to cast on another one. And I am going to cast on another one because lots of family members are going to get these, but I think this is going to be my bankhead hat. I'm going to be just like Dad. I'm just going to keep making them because I just, it's an enjoyable knit. And it comes out so beautifully, and I just love the way that one goes. So I'm going to link that pattern in the show notes if anybody wants to give it a shot. It's a fun and easy and quick knit, and I know a lot of us are starting or working on or have been working on our holiday gifts, and this one knits up pretty good. So this is, I love this yarn in the Aegean Stripe colorway. And I just really appreciate the fact that this very affordable yarn from Hobby Lobby, that they took the time to dye it like this. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get in Super Saver, you can get variegated, but self-striping, not so far as I know. I just love that they did this with this yarn. So I have one more ball in a different colorway, so yeah, I'm either gonna make a shawl or I'm gonna make another one of these. And I loved it so much, and I wanted to keep working with it, and I still had a lot of the ball left because you get a lot of yardage. So I made a pair of fingerless gloves out of the same yarn, and or gauntlets, whatever you want to call it. And I've never knitted fingerless gloves before, so I went for it on these. And you guys know I live in Southern California, and I didn't know if it was ever going to get cold or California cold. It finally did. And seriously, today my teeth were chattering walking back to my car after work. So, and today was not as cold as it's going to get colder. And so I figured that these would be really cool. I might give them as a Christmas gift, but most of the people that I give to live in the Midwest, and this is a joke in the wintertime. So, but this works well for a Californian who just needs some warmth, you know, when you're driving and holding the cold steering wheel and that kind of thing. So I'm thinking of keeping these, and I really love how they came out. And once again, I love the yarn, I love the striping. I did a halfway decent job of making them match, but they're definitely not perfect. They're more like fraternal twins. So that is my fourth and final finished object. So I'm going to go on and talk to you guys about something that's going to be frogged, and I'm not even going to show it. You know, I have not been able to face it. You guys know that I had this plan, or maybe you know, I had this plan that my family, we take a holiday photo every year, and we send out a Christmas card with our photo on it. And so my plan was that we were all going to wear something handmade by me. Not sweaters for everybody. Like, I was thinking maybe a shawl for me, maybe socks or a beanie for my husband, and then a sweater, though, for my son. So you guys know, I think in my first episode, I showed you that I was making the flax. And then by the time I got to the second or third episode, it's the Flax by Tin Can Knits. It's from their Simple Knits collection, and you can find it on Ravelry. Or look at my old episode show notes and you'll find it. But I got the whole thing done. I was getting ready to do the arms, which was pretty much the last part of it, and realized I had totally messed up the pattern for the arms. And I just kept trying to make my brain accept, okay, you can still just tweak it and make it work, but seriously, I just couldn't even face that sweater because it was completely not what it should have been. And so I'm just gonna frog it, and I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about how I got the courage to do that in a minute as I go through when I talk about my Crafty Periscoper that I want to highlight today. So I think that is all of my projects right now. Hopefully there's another thing I want to start, and I want want to show it to you, but unfortunately I have it in black and white here, so it's not going to be the cutest. It's not even a great picture. But this is called the No Seams Cardigan. It is from Copper Llama Studio, and the designer is Jamie Payne. And she has this pattern on Ravelry. But I did not. I looked it up, but I really wanted to show this picture, but it's not. I couldn't find it. So I'm going to show Jamie's in a minute. This is a seamless cardigan. It is a crochet item, and I'm definitely totally wanting to make it. And so I'm going to try. Ooh, almost dropped it. Try to pull it up here so you guys can see it, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to cast it on, or whatever you call starting a crochet item. I'm going to do it, and let me see if I can pull up a great picture of this. That's the back of it. See, she just doesn't have great shots of it. I believe actually she's a designer. I believe this picture is a designer. I'm not 100% sure, but this is, I found this pattern on, I don't even know where, and then realized that I had also seen it on Ravelry, and it's something I definitely want to try. Oh, I found it on Annie's Attic. This one is a paid-for pattern, and I got it on Annie's Attic. I believe I had a catalog that came, and I saw the picture, and I was like, okay, I got to try this. I got to try this. And so I can't wait to get started on that, and hopefully the next time we meet, I will have at least gotten it started. But I'm sort of on a roll with the knitting. I really, really have just the knitting and the crocheting. I'm just into it right now. I'm also into a couple of other things, but I'm going to stick to the fiber arts today. So the next thing I want to talk about is the new kid on the block. I wanted to talk about Lex. And Lex is the artist behind the podcast, and it is called the Crochet Fiberist. And I have her linked in the show notes. So you can just click and you can find her. But what I appreciate about her the most is she totally brings something different to the table when it comes to podcasting. She is very much into Tunisian crochet and has totally inspired me. That was my other whip that I did not prepare to show you. I have it, but there's so much of the yarn in the bag that I'm not going to try to pull it out. She just inspired me after watching a couple of her episodes to really get back into the Tunisian and really try to get better at it. But check her out. I mean, not a lot of people are doing Tunisian crochet in the podcast world. At least I haven't found them. And that's what I appreciate about it. Some of these people that I highlight on my podcast are people that really bring something that others don't. Just something unique about their podcast. Like, I talk about, Andrea the cat lady, because she is truly a DIYer in her heart, and a lot of us are DIYers, but how many of us make the types of things that Andrea makes? She made a Swift, I believe. She has made a Nitty Naughty. She is really hardcore DIY, and I really, really love that about her podcast, because it's something a little bit different from everybody else. We all do a lot of the same things, but it's really nice to find people who are doing something just a little bit different that not everybody else is doing. And Lex from the Crochet Fibrous is one of them. The other thing I like about her is she's another podcaster who really is elevating crochet, and I feel like crochet is awesome, and sometimes it takes a back seat to knitting, but she takes it to a whole nother level. She is very much very, very creative and very much into design, and I really think she is someone to watch. She is brand new. I think she is on episode 7 or 8, just like me, but she comes out she's a little bit more prolific than I am. So I think I maybe have been taping a little bit longer, but she has just as many episodes because she's more prolific. And so check her out. She's very good. Really cool to watch. And then my podcast rock star I want to talk about, or my rock stars I want to talk about, is the Knitworthy podcast. And this is hosted by a mother and daughter team, and which I love, Mama Linda and Brianne. And it's amazing because I think what's unique about them is, I know a lot of people get along with their moms. I get along with my mother. But this girl and her family and her mother and her husband, they all live together. And they live in the Ozarks, and they seem to get along very, very well. And I just love watching the interplay between Mama Linda and Brianne. They are hilarious. They are talented artists. Brianne is a knitter mostly, and Mama Linda knits, but she does a ton of other things. So that's also another thing that I like about the podcast, is that she does art journaling, she does embroidery, she does crochet, she does a lot of things, so she brings a different element. Really, really love their show, and like I said, they are a crack up, so check them out. They are linked in the down bar. Mama Linda and Brianne, they are on YouTube. If you look up Linda Brianne, one word, or the Knitworthy podcast, you will find them. And they also have a podcast group on Ravelry, and I really like them, so I wanted to highlight them today. And then I also wanted to talk about a Crafty Periscoper. And the reason why I'm bringing this person up is she is the one who gave me the courage to frog my flax. So her name, and I hope you can see it. Oh, where did it go? Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to look her up. Her name is Juliana Puccini on Periscope. And, okay, here she is. Juliana Puccini on Periscope. So she is at Juliana Puccini on Periscope. She is also on, she's also on YouTube as Juliana's Fiber. And Juliana is an incredible fiber artist. She is a yarn dyer based out of Canada. And the reason why I'm highlighting her is because, as my Crafty Periscoper, is because she has, I think she's slowing down now, but when I first got on Periscope, early fall, late summer, she was periscoping quite a bit, and she talks about lots of fibery things. She also gives tips on how to periscope if you're interested. She gives a lot of tips on that, but she's primarily a yarn dyer. She has an Etsy store. She, like I said, she's based out of Canada. People rave about her yarns, but she has been very encouraging on Periscope. And the other day, she had a project, and I believe she's also a designer, because I believe this project was something that she has designed, and she realized when she was well into this project, it was a hat, I believe, that it was not done correctly. So she frogged it, but what she did was she got on Periscope and frogged it in front of all of us. And honestly, that gave me the courage to just go ahead. I was like, okay, I just need to frog it. I just need to accept the fact that this sweater is not right, and if I keep going and I finish it, I'm not going to be that happy with it. I'll be proud that I finished, but I'm not going to be happy with it because it's not going to look like it's supposed to look. And so watching her gave me the courage to go ahead and frog it. I haven't done it yet, but I'm determined that I'm going to frog mine too and start over. Which of course means, he won't be wearing that in the picture. In fact, none of us will be wearing anything handmade by me for our holiday picture, which we are taking next week. So, but anyway, I just wanted to highlight Juliana. And I think that is everything for my show today. I think that's everything. So, thank you guys for coming. Thank you for stopping by. Please come over and join me on the podcast group on Ravelry. I am pettiskimknits, pettiskimknits on Ravelry. The name of our podcast group is the Crafty Nomad Podcast Group. Please come over and become a member, because when I get to 50, I'm going to do my very first giveaway. So please join me on YouTube and on Instagram. I am pettiskim. So please follow me there. A lot of people have been following me, and I'm grateful for that. And then I have an Etsy store. It's called Ebony Pearl Creative Crochet Creations by Kim. And I also have a Facebook page for that, for my store, and it is called Ebony Pearl. And I have linked everything in the down bar below. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully the lighting worked out again. I'm really loving my lighting. I actually think I linked what I did purchase to help me with the lighting, because as I told you guys before, I have to do this stuff after my son is asleep. And with daylight savings time, man, he would be asleep anyway, but even if I was to do it as soon as I got home from work, with daylight savings time, it's like pitch black at 5 o'clock. So I really needed the lighting. So hopefully it's working out very well, and I'm kind of figuring out how to place it so that it's the most efficient and the most optimal. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you for supporting me. I look forward to hanging out with you guys again in the future, and hopefully you will have a great week. And I think by the time I podcast again, it will either be very close to Thanksgiving or be right after Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And hopefully, isn't the year going by really fast? I cannot believe it. Anyway, have a great day. Have a great night, and I will talk to you later.